Alright everybody, welcome back to another video here on the channel today, and following up from my previous video, this is going to be my Rate the Arenas, or the boss arena maps in the Monster Hunter series. So let's just get started with this. So, Fortress. This is where you fight Lao Shan Lung and Shen Goran, though I have never fought Shen Goran. It's, aesthetically it's fine. Just kind of this big long pathway where you fight Lao Shan Lung. It's fine. Like a 5. I don't really have super strong feelings about it. I've only experienced it in Generations Ultimate with Lao Shan Lung. Alright, Tower something. I don't know what that says. This is essentially the same thing as the Forlorn Arena, just in the earlier games. It's good. It's like a solid, I'll give it a solid, like, 7. I like the aesthetic a lot, but I think that the updated version goes pretty crazy, and we'll talk about that later. Tower Summit, I believe I played this in 4 Ultimate. You can fight like Gold and Silver and Molten Tigrex up there. It's pretty good. Another 7. Don't really have any strong feelings about that one either. I think it's cool that you're all the way at the tippy top of the tower, and I mean, you can literally see like the clouds and the light barely peering through the clouds. Really cool aesthetic, very mysterious. Ingle Isle. Okay, so this one is where you fight a Cantor, Alatreon, Raging Brachydios, and some other monsters in it in Generations Ultimate, and 4 Ultimate introduced it. Also Crimson Fatalis, that's an important one. This is a pretty good boss arena. I think I really like the aesthetic. I like how it's just this volcanic isle, this moonlit volcanic isle. Give it like an 8. Like an 8 out of 10. And by the way, this is a different map. So like, I looked it up because I didn't know what some of these were down here. And the Sacred Land is where you fought Alatreon originally in Monster Hunter 3. And then the Lava Canyon and Snowy Mountains Peak is where you fought a Cantor and Ucanilos, respectively, in the original games they appeared in. So, pretty interesting. I did not know that. The Polar Field? I think that's what that says. That's like text is cut off. Polar Field. This is where you fight Ucanilos in Generations Ultimate. I think it's good. I don't really like it more than Ingle Isle or these other ones, like the tower ones, so I think I'll give it like a 6. Underwater Ruins, you fight Sadeas, Goldbeard Sadeas, and Abyssal Lagiacrus on this map. This is from Monster Hunter 3 and 3 Ultimate. I don't really have very strong feelings about it. You're underwater the entire time, which is interesting. That definitely gives it some unique points. But I think I will also give it like a 6. The Tainted Seas. So this is where you fight Dire Morales in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. There's like an on-land part of the fight, and there's a underwater section. I think the aesthetic is cool. It's like red sea with this like ominous sky looming over you as you fight Dire Morales. I think I'll give this one like a 7. Hey, the Sacred Pinnacle. This is where you fight Amatsu in Portable 3rd as well as Generations Ultimate, and yeah, this is a great map. I like the aesthetic of it. Is crazy. This like crazy storm in the background with red skies. I think this is like a 9 out of 10 for me. It's a really, really good arena. The Great Desert. This is where you fight like Jen Moran, Darren Moran. I mean, you're just on like a ship the whole time in those fights, except for when you're fighting on foot towards the end of those fights. But yeah, this one's all right. This one's like we'll give this one like a. The Fortress is like, what did I say? Fortress is like a 5. We'll give this one like a 5 as well. The Great Sea. You're literally just on the ship and you fight Gormagala when you first encounter him on the ship a little bit. It's a cool encounter. It's a great introduction of the monster, but it's hardly like an arena, you know. So this is like a 4. Sanctuary, the arena where you fight Shagaru Magala in 4 Ultimate and Generations Ultimate. Way high up in the mountains in Heaven's Mount, just under Speartip Crag, which we will talk about later. Yeah, this is a pretty good one. I give this one like a 9 out of 10. I love the aesthetic of it being just completely dark and like stormy, sort of, because of the frenzy virus and just the presence of Shagaru Magala. And then when you kill Shagaru Magala, you know, the clouds open up and the sun breaks, like Monster Hunter Sunbreak. I mean, a lot of these do that, like Sacred Pinnacle, I believe, does that too. That's like an 8 out of 10 for me. Alright, the Speartip Crag, where you fight Dalamadur and Shah Dalamadur. Easy 10 out of 10. This map is crazy. This is like you're in the clouds fighting this giant snake elder dragon who lives all the way up here. It's crazy. I don't really have much else to add other than it's just insane, like the spectacle of it. You want to know more about that fight and Dalamadur, check out my Dalamadur video that I did months ago. Alright, this was not the best picture, but it's one of the ones I could find. This is showing 4th gen Castle Schrade. Now, I didn't include 1st gen Castle Schrade, just because 1, I haven't experienced it, and 2, 5th gen Castle Schrade I think is basically just 1st gen Castle Schrade revamped in a way. But anyways, I didn't experience the OG Castle Schrade, but this is like the 2nd iteration of Castle Schrade, and it's pretty close to the Iceborne one, though I do think the Iceborne one is overall best. But on this map we fight Fatalis and White Fatalis, or Old Fatalis. It's great. I think the blue kind of lighting that it has during like the daytime, or is it even daytime? I don't know. It's definitely pretty different tonally from what we got in Iceborne, with the red sky and like the storm in the background and the flames, which tonally that is a lot closer to the original version of Castle Schrade, the one in Iceborne. So, you know, I like this version of Castle Schrade. I have some, you know, fun memories of fighting Fatalis and White Fatalis there. So I'm gonna give it like a, I mean, it's pretty iconic. I'm gonna give it like an 8. Town battle quarters, or town old battle quarters, it's cut off there. But yeah, this is where you fight Rusted Kushala and Gugmazios, as well as some other Elder Dragons in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. And I mean, the highlight is obviously the Gugmazios fight. It's pretty good. It's nothing crazy. Like, you're just kind of in the battle quarters of the town. It's cool. It's like a 7 for me. I think it's like a, we'll say 7. We'll put it here. Wyvern's End. Okay, this is another 10 out of 10 for me. Peak arena design, and the monster that goes along with it is great. This is where you fight Nekarkos, and if you remember in my previous video, I mentioned that the Rotten Vale was pretty unique because it has this aesthetic of being this like graveyard for monsters, this like rotting, decaying landscape. And I mentioned how there's one other map that kind of did that before, but it's an arena map. Well, that's this one. Wyvern's End is just covered in bones. Tons of creatures have died here. I think the description of the map is where wyverns go to die. Like, it's pretty crazy. And the home, this is where Nekarkos makes his home, and he uses the bones of all these other dead creatures to, yes, like, I don't know how to describe it. He kind of like puppeteers the bones of the dead monsters with his tentacles and uses them as like his shell. It's really cool. It's great. I definitely want to do a video about Nekarkos. It's one I have planned. But yeah, Wyvern's End is just like, from the moment you spawn in, it is jaw-dropping. Like, the vista at the camp area, it looks like the opening of Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Like, that's the exact vibe I get from it. It's like sunset and the sun is like blaring in the background, and you got like a lot of yellowy brown kind of, you know, sunlight, orange colors, and it's just gorgeous. Then you drop down this massive pit that you can't see the bottom of from the top, and then you're in it. You're in Wyvern's End, and you look up and you see the hole that you came down with this. That's like the only sunlight that's peering through. There's all these bones, but like the bones have this like bioluminescent algae, or maybe they're plants on them, and then Nikarchos is swimming around, and it's like so mysterious and weird. But we're not here to talk about Nikarchos as much as I want to. That will be for a separate video. But Wyvern's End, easy 10 out of 10 for me. All right, the Forlorn Citadel. So this is where you fight Atel Ka, the final boss of Generations Ultimate. And as an arena, it's fine. Atel Ka is really like the big set piece here. It's just kind of a destroyed structure in the middle of the desert. I don't really have a ton to say about it, but it's pretty cool. I'll give it like a solid 8 out of 10 or 7. I'll say 7. Okay, the Great Ravine. This is where you fight Zora Magdaros in World. It's okay. It's like a 5. I don't really have a ton to say about it. Same thing with the Everstream. I'll put it a bit higher. I'll put this one at like put this one at a 6. Aesthetically, it reminds me a lot of the Tainted Sea. And it's really cool that you're on Zora Magdaros' back the entire time. Not much of a fight going on, but the area you're in, pretty cool. Confluence of Fate. This is where you fight Xeno'jiiva at the heart of the Elder's Recess. Pretty impactful final boss monster, I thought. Not one of the best in the series, but, you know, it definitely holds up for me, and it was like the first final boss monster I ever fought, because, you know, World was the first game that I got into the series with. So I got a lot of fond memories of fighting Xeno'jiiva. So we're gonna put this one like here, like an 8. Caverns of El Dorado, where we fight Kulve Taroth. Cool arena. I love the whole gold aesthetic. I mean, there's a reason they call it the Caverns of El Dorado. It's great. It's a cool map. Fight's cool. But other than that, I don't really have a ton to say about it. I think this is another like 8 out of 10. Celiana Supply Cache. This is where we fight this is where we fight Velkhana for the first time, and you can fight some arena fights there and such. I don't have a ton to say about this one. It's go with like a 7. Origin Isle, where we fight Ruiner Nergigante. I like the lighting. I like the crags of the rocks, like how spiky the rocks are, almost mirroring the spikes that Nergigante has on him. Pretty small area. I think it's cool. It's like an 8 for me. Secluded Valley. All right, this is where we fight Shara Ishvalda at the end of the main story of Iceborne, and I think this one is like this one I think is like a 9. I love the aesthetic of it, and I love how there's 2 distinct phases with the fight, and you start in this like very rocky area, and then the whole place opens up after Shara Ishvalda comes out of its like rock shell that it has on, and yeah, it's great. I'd say like a 9 out of 10. I think I like Sanctuary a bit more though, so 9 out of 10. Okay, Castle Shrade from Iceborne. 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. I don't think I like it as much as like Wyvern's End or Speartip Crag, but it is you can tell that this is like really the fight that they have always wanted to give Fatalis, and this depiction of Castle Shrade is just perfect. So 10 out of 10. Red Stronghold. This is where we do the rampages in Monster Hunter Rise, and I like the aesthetic, but the rampages, the rampages. I really am not a fan of the rampages, so I'm gonna give this like a 3 just because of that. Aesthetically, I'd say it's like a 5, but just knowing that that's where we do all the rampages, and only that place, and you can only do rampages there, really just puts a sour taste in my mouth. So, yeah, like a 3. Coral Palace. All right, this is where we fight Ibushi and Narwa, as well as All Mother Narwa, and I think this is like This very much reminds me of the Coral Highlands. Like, this to me is like the portable team taking a crack at that same aesthetic, but on a much smaller scale. I think it's like a 9. I think it's a 9 out of 10. Okay, the Infernal Springs. It's kind of related to the Coral Palace a little bit. Just a cool arena map. There's not really like... Well, we do fight Amatsu there in Sunbreak, but I like the original Amatsu arena better. So I'm gonna give this one like an 8. I think it's like an 8. I think it's actually, for me, it's like... I think it's like here, honestly. Oh man, here we go. We're getting to some really good one, like we got some more bangers coming up. Oh man, so the Forlorn Arena in Sunbreak, man. 10 out of 10. Easy 10 out of 10. Nighttime especially, like that image, which is also the thumbnail of this video, just, my god, dude. I remember like seeing the nighttime version of this with Lucent Nargacuga for the first time, and I just, like, my jaw was on the floor. There's like the shooting stars in the background and everything, and during the day it still looks great too, but I mean the nighttime is really what sells it for me. All right, we have the Geismagorm Boss Arena, and this is another really cool one. I think this is another 10 out of 10 for me. This destroyed ancient citadel tower, just outside of the Citadel map, and we go deeper and deeper into the caves. I think, going super deep underground down into this massive pit, I think like Wyvern's End definitely gives more of that feel, but this is like a cool kind of medieval sort of take on that on a similar idea, right? Just without all the like monster bones and stuff. So this is like I'm gonna give this one a 10 out of 10 as well. I'll put this up here. All right, I just have a picture of Jin Dahad, but I'm referring to his arena. And unlike the Ice Shard Cliffs, this is a solid arena. I don't think it's like incredible or anything, but it serves his fight very well. And because of that, I'm gonna give it like an 8. I think that's pretty fair to give it an 8 out of 10. I'll say like a 6 or a 7. I'll say 7. That seems fair. So I guess the towers are also 7 as well. All right, and then this image, I didn't just want to get a picture of Zoshia, so instead I got a picture of the Wyvern Torch before Zoshia hatches. It's a very low-res image, but here it is. And yeah, the Wyvern Torch arena where we fight Zoshia, very simple but very effective. I'm going to give it a solid 7, just like Jin Dahad's arena. But all right, so this is it. That is my boss arena tier list, map tier list for the Monster Hunter series. But what do you think? What is your favorite boss arena or your least favorite boss arena in the entire Monster Hunter series? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you all in the next Monster Hunter video. Happy hunting.